So lads, the Angel Reese situation is not getting better. It is not getting better at all. And if you guys don't know, obviously Angel Reese was suspended for a half a game in what might have been the biggest joke in all of team sports, that Angel Reese got suspended for half a game. And like, it was at the stage where even other players were saying it's like, just suspend her for a game. At this stage, like, if you're gonna suspend her for the full game. Don't suspend her for half a game. And clearly, not only was she just suspended for half of the game, but yeah, she didn't play. As expected, she didn't play. Like her fans on Twitter were like, "Oh, Angel, just say your back hurts in the warm up. Just say your back hurts in the warm up." And all of a sudden, like, she's been back for however long from the back.
The Angel Reese saga, drama on and off the court. Angel Reese's season with the Chicago Sky has taken a turn few expected. What began with a half-game suspension has spiraled into one of the strangest sagas in recent WNBA memory. The suspension itself raised eyebrows. Even other players questioned it. If you're going to suspend someone, they argued, do it for a full game, not just half.
Joe, Angel Reese got suspended for the first half of a game, saying her teammates suck. This guy made a statement saying, the Chicago Sky values the safety, respect, and well-being of every player. We are committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball. Because of the statements detrimental to the team made by Angel Reese during the league-mandated media, she will not play in the first half of the game September 7th against the Las Vegas Aces. This matter has been handled and resolved internally, and we're moving forward as a team.
But instead of returning in the second half as expected, Reese stayed on the bench. She didn't play, and fans were left confused and frustrated. For many, this didn't look like a simple disciplinary action. It looked like rebellion. Reese has been the face of the team, but instead of rallying around her teammates, she seemed determined to make a statement against the organization. The Sky released a statement emphasizing safety, respect, and accountability, saying the matter had been resolved internally. But the optics told a different story. Reese appeared to refuse to play altogether, leaving fans wondering if this was less about injury and more about conflict behind the scenes. Some compared it to the NBA's infamous Dwightmare, when Dwight Howard's standoff with his coach and teammates paralyzed his team's season. Only this time, it isn't about a coach.
Reese doesn't touch the floor. Doesn't play in the first half, doesn't play in the second half. Oh, this is interesting. Did Tyler Marsh just say, you know what? Angel, I like the group that we have in right now. We don't need you. We're playing well. I don't know. Does Angel Reese throw a hissy fit in the locker room? Says, no, I'm not playing. Kinda did that. Maybe not that exact, but she went about not playing. Yep, instead of coming to help her teammates, she would rather stick it to the Chicago Sky organization.
Reese's issues seemed to extend to the team itself, raising questions about chemistry and leadership inside the locker room. What really fueled the controversy was the timing. Reese had several days off before the game, and then suddenly cited back pain as the reason she couldn't play. She even wore a back brace over her warm-up sweatshirt, in full view of cameras. To skeptics, it felt less like medical necessity and more like theater. The result is a storyline that overshadows basketball itself. Instead of highlight reels, we're talking about locker room drama, mysterious injuries, and public disputes with the team. Reese remains one of the league's brightest stars, but right now her biggest headlines are coming off the court, not on it.
It's getting hotter here, y'all. This is crazy. This is why this thing took a left turn out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I have not, bro. This is supposed to be a professional league. Angel Reese, you telling me you refuse to go in the game for the Chicago Sky because they suspended you for one half? This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Wait till you get a load of it.
For the Chicago Sky, the question is simple. Can they move past the distractions and focus on basketball, or will the Angel Reese drama define their season? Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, a drama in 2 acts. Angel Reese's season has turned into a spectacle that feels more like a reality show than professional basketball. What began as a half-game suspension quickly spiraled into a full-blown soap opera, complete with props, plot twists, and a very visible back brace. The suspension itself was unusual. Even other WNBA players questioned the logic. Why suspend someone for half a game? Either sit them for the full contest or let them play.
So the Chicago Sky situation is not ending, and I don't think it's going to end for a while. Like, this is some Dwight Mayer type stuff, but instead of Dwight Mayer saying it's you or me about the coach, Dwight Mayer said it's you or me about the literal entire team, except for the other player that was in her draft class that clearly doesn't fit playing beside her. That clearly does not fit.
Instead, the Sky benched Reese for the first half against the Las Vegas Aces, then announced she was dealing with back pain in the second half. Fans who expected her return never saw her touch the court. That's when things got theatrical. Reese appeared in a bulky back brace, worn over her sweatshirt, making sure everyone in the arena and at home saw it. To skeptics, it looked less like treatment and more like performance. As one observer put it, this wasn't an injury, it was a production. For the Sky, this created a credibility problem. The team had previously allowed Reese to face media backlash on her own after she criticized the organization. Now, fans are supposed to believe they're protecting her with an injury designation? The mixed messaging made it look less like discipline and more like damage control. Meanwhile, Reese's absence left her teammates shorthanded and struggling on the court.
Angel Reese was suspended for the first half of today's game versus the Las Vegas Aces. She told them, I don't care if y'all suspend me, I ain't playing anyway. My back hurt. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy work, Angel. That's crazy work, Angel. I cannot believe she just pulled the wool over their eyes like this. They thought that they was punishing her, and the whole time she knew, y'all can't punish me. I'ma say my back hurt. I'm not gonna play anyway. This season is over. This is crazy. We already saw her throw her teammates under the bus. Tyler Marsh was blindsided.
Instead of rallying behind them, she stayed on the sidelines, brace in full view, projecting defiance more than support. To many, it felt like she had quit on the team mid-game. The bigger issue is the fractured relationship between Reese and the Sky. It resembles a messy breakup where both sides are still technically together but clearly moving on. She doesn't want them, they don't want her, and the only thing keeping them tied together is the contract. Fans aren't buying the official storyline. They've seen the timing, the theatrics, and the contradictions. What was meant to look like discipline now feels like disarray. And what was meant to be an injury looks more like protest. In the end, the Angel Reese saga has become bigger than basketball. The drama overshadows the games, the standings, and the scoreboard.
She's suspended for a game because she picked up her 8th technical foul. So, and I think that's tonight. That was tonight, right? She was suspended tonight, and now she's suspended the first half against the Aces on the 7th to be Monday, correct? Dang. Yeah. Sunday. Yeah. Sunday. My bad. Sunday. Look. Angel expressed her dissatisfaction with the state of the franchise, is what she said. I like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me. But while I'm here, I'm going to try to stay open-minded about what I have here and maximize that.
Until Chicago and Reese resolve their differences, or go their separate ways, the story won't be about what happens on the court. It will be about the spectacle on the sidelines. The Chicago Sky's decision to suspend Angel Reese for half a game was baffling from the start. Even other players questioned it. If you're going to discipline someone, sit them for the full game. Instead, Reese was benched for the first half, then ruled out of the second half with a sudden back injury. That's when the performance began. Reese came out at halftime wearing a bulky back brace, not under her warm-up gear where it might serve a purpose, but proudly strapped over her sweatshirt like a billboard. It wasn't about support. It was about optics. She wanted everyone in the arena and everyone watching at home to see it. The move looked less like sports medicine and more like professional wrestling. She wasn't warming up, wasn't locked into the game, and certainly wasn't supporting her teammates.
Half-game suspension. And I mean this when I say this. Why a half a game? Like, Courtney Williams responded to it. Like, she did the exact same. She's like, just suspend her for a game. Just suspend her for a game. Don't suspend her for half a game. Half a game makes no sense. She got to be on the warm-up bike for the first half in the locker room. Does she like come out at halftime? Is she suspended by just being sat on the bench? Like, at this stage, suspend her for half game. At this stage, just bench her for the season. Bench her for the rest of the season. Like, there's 2 games left.
She was staging a protest, sending a message to the organization that suspended her. You think you can punish me? Watch me punish myself. Meanwhile, her teammates were struggling. By halftime, the Sky had just 25 points, an embarrassing total in professional basketball. While they were fighting to stay afloat, Reese was parading around the court, making sure her brace got more attention than the scoreboard. For head coach Tyler Marsh, it's an impossible situation. He's tasked with building a team while managing a star who treats games like episodes of reality TV. Reese has cycled through multiple Barbie personas, Bayou Barbie, Cheetown Barbie, and now, some would say, blaming Barbie. None of it changes the fact that she walked away from her team in their moment of need. The bigger picture is even messier. Reese thinks she's sticking it to the franchise, but from the outside, it looks like quitting, again. And quitting twice in back-to-back seasons isn't just bad optics. It's a reputation killer. At this point, the Sky don't look like they care, either. They suspended her, let the injury narrative play out, and haven't gone out of their way to defend her publicly.
Man, things are getting worse in Chicago, man. Way before it's getting better, I tell you. All right, so the game happened last night, and basically, if y'all remember, Angel Reese was suspended for half of that Aces game last night, right? So she sits out the half of the game, and then coming into the next half, she's ruled out injured with a back injury. Oh, man. Man, it's just tick for tat at this point, man. It is crazy what's going on in Chicago.
Both sides seem locked in a bad marriage, each waiting for the other to walk away first. And that's why this story has captured so much attention. It's no longer about basketball. It's about rebellion, drama, and optics. Angel Reese has turned a suspension into performance art. Whether fans admire the defiance or shake their heads at the theatrics, they're watching, and that may be exactly what she wanted. The Angel Reese saga, drama on and off the court. Angel Reese's season with the Chicago Sky has taken a turn few expected. What began with a half-game suspension has spiraled into one of the strangest sagas in recent WNBA memory. The suspension itself raised eyebrows. Even other players questioned it. If you're going to suspend someone, they argued, do it for a full game, not just half.
What? So what they suspended her for half a game. Why don't you just suspend the whole game at that point? Why do you want to suspend somebody half a game? How you even gonna play after getting suspended half a game? You gonna miss the first half and then you ain't gonna have no flow for the game. Am I tripping? You're just not gonna have no flow for the game. If you miss the first half of the game and then all of a sudden you can get subbed in for the second half of the game, why not just suspend her the whole game?
That's just what the organization decided to do.
But instead of returning in the second half as expected, Reese stayed on the bench. She didn't play, and fans were left confused and frustrated. For many, this didn't look like a simple disciplinary action. It looked like rebellion. Reese has been the face of the team, but instead of rallying around her teammates, she seemed determined to make a statement against the organization. The Sky released a statement emphasizing safety, respect, and accountability, saying the matter had been resolved internally. But the optics told a different story. Reese appeared to refuse to play altogether, leaving fans wondering if this was less about injury and more about conflict behind the scenes. Some compared it to the NBA's infamous Dwightmare, when Dwight Howard's standoff with his coach and teammates paralyzed his team's season. Only this time, it isn't about a coach. Reese's issues seem to extend to the team itself, raising questions about chemistry and leadership inside the locker room. What really fueled the controversy was the timing. Reese had several days off before the game, and then suddenly cited back pain as the reason she couldn't play. She even wore a back brace, over her warm-up sweatshirt, in full view of cameras. To skeptics, it felt less like medical necessity and more like theater. The result is a storyline that overshadows basketball itself. Instead of highlight reels, we're talking about locker room drama, mysterious injuries, and public disputes with the team. Reese remains one of the league's brightest stars, but right now her biggest headlines are coming off the court, not on it.
With Angel, she's sitting out the first half due to the suspension. Logistically, how does a player who normally starts the game kind of stay warm and go into the second half?
Starts with your warm-up, and then obviously after your warm-up, it's a pretty long stretch that you're sitting. So whether it's keeping pads, whether it's being on the bike and staying active from that standpoint, I think different players operate differently. So we're trusting our medical staff to be able to.
That clip was Tyler Marsh before the game last night, where the Chicago Bravado continued their season-long tradition of getting their ass kicked. This time, the boot to the Bravado's bruised caboose, it belonged to the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces.
For the Chicago Sky, the question is simple. Can they move past the distractions and focus on basketball, or will the Angel Reese drama define their season? Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, a drama in 2 acts. Angel Reese's season has turned into a spectacle that feels more like a reality show than professional basketball. What began as a half-game suspension quickly spiraled into a full-blown soap opera.